We are joined by GM of your Sacramento Kings, Scott Perry, to kick things off. We're starting out with a bang today. Thank you, Scott Perry, for joining us.
Oh, thank you guys for having me, man. Excited to be on with you, and appreciate the work that you do and in and around this town, and looking forward to doing this more often with you guys.
That's good. That's good, Scott. You have definitely come into a situation to where, you talk about boots on the ground. Your boots have been on the ground because I know it's a lot of work that need to be done, a lot of things that needs to be changed. But can you talk about, just how you go by the day-to-day process?
Oh, absolutely. And one of the things, the most important thing I felt I did when I first came into this organization is just wanted to get the pulse of what was going on, not assume anything. So I met with every single person in basketball operations and a number of the key people over on the business side because, again, I'm a person that wants to develop a community that works together.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to hear from people. And everybody, no role is too big or no role is too small. Everybody, so people who were going to stay around, I wanted to know their stories, learn about their experiences here, and then also gave me an opportunity to express the vision that I have for this team. And so that's going to be important because we got to have buy-in. And so I'm a big guy. I'm big on open communication, sharing a lot, empowering people. So I've spent a lot of time doing that these first 5 or 6 months here. Obviously, developing the staff, both
Mm-hmm.
front office staff and helping Doug with his coaching staff. So you want quality people in here. Character is extremely important to me. And then lastly, I came in and there's nothing more important than establishing an identity of who you're going to be, how you're going to work, and what does it mean to be a Sacramento King. And so I talk about, you'll hear me say this often, the 6 pillars or 6 values of what we stand for: competitive, tough, team-oriented, professional, accountable, and disciplined. That's everybody. Starts with me, but I don't care what your role is in this organization. I want you living by that every day.
Right.
Obviously, we want the team to reflect that in how they play as well.
Talking to Scott Perry, GM of the Sacramento Kings. Scott, a couple different rumors have been out and about. I'm sure you're used to it, but a couple different rumors floating around throughout the summer. And one of the guys walking around that we see is Keegan Murray.
Mm-hmm.
People keep hitting me up on the text line, on the call line. What's going on with Keegan's extension?
Mm-hmm.
How much can you share with us about what your plans are for Keegan and where you would like this to go?
Yeah, no, we like Keegan Murray. Obviously, I haven't had a chance to work with him on a daily basis, with practice and those things. That obviously begins tomorrow. But I've had a lot of respect for him from afar, just the type of character that he brings to his day-to-day life. I mean, he's the kind of person you want in your organization because he's about the right things. He's a hard worker. He's about the team. I believe he really likes it here in Sacramento. He's 6'9". He's very versatile at both ends of the floor. So, um, so that versatility allows you to do a number of different things with your roster. So
Right.
we'll continue to getting to know one another, and so and hopefully we figure out a way that he's going to be here with the Sacramento
Right.
Kings long term.
You know what? You talked about your principles that you put down, and I was listening to you, and that sounds like your head coach, Doug Christie, from top to bottom.
Yes.
I said earlier on in the broadcast, no matter how things go, I know it won't be from the lack of trying, the lack of hard work. Can you just talk to us about how diligent Doug Christie is as a coach and how hard your man works?
It has really been a pleasure watching Doug work. Actually, I knew him a little bit before here because I worked here 8 years ago, and
Out
I
here?
met yes, right, and I met him as when he was a player first with the Toronto Raptors. So and then obviously got a chance to watch him play a lot here in Sacramento. So you saw the toughness, the work ethic, all of those, the competitive nature in Doug as a player. Now, fast forward to him, is Doug Christie, the coach. A couple things really stand out for me with Doug. A is his voice. He has got a very natural voice that can command the room, I think he has a lot of natural leadership skills and ability, the ability to unite people. And for a head coach, and me as being a former head coach in college myself, to me, that's one of the most important characteristics you can have is the ability to communicate and get people to buy in to the vision and playing together. Uh, Doug brings that to the table. The other thing that's really impressed me over the summer is Doug's thirst for knowledge from the coach. And I've worked with a ton of head coaches in this league, and really he stands out to me in that capacity in the top 10 percentile in terms of saying, hey, I don't have all the answers. I'm trying to learn at every turn. And so the type of staff he assembled reflects that because he's added a lot of great experience to the staff. Trips that we've made this off season. I was fortunate enough to have a strong relationship with the Pittsburgh Steelers organization. I know Mike Tomlin very well. He's a friend of mine. So we were Doug, I, and B.J. Armstrong. We all went to Pittsburgh Steelers training camp for 3 days, and even though it's a different sport, but you watch, in my opinion, Mike Tomlin is one of the great leaders in any sport, and just his ability to command the room, communicate, and organize. Now you're talking about, a roster of 53 guys, and there's 90 at training camp, and just Doug having the opportunity to sit down, ask questions, the note taking. He was involved in every meeting and things, and just watching him do that was invaluable for me. It was a great experience for him, and those are the kind of things he's going to want to do each and every off season to keep honing his craft. And having that trait will give him every opportunity, I believe, to be a really good coach in this league.
Talking to GM Scott Perry, and I love working with my guy Henry Turner here because this is turning into a bit of a good cop, bad cop situation, because I got to come with some of the tougher questions that everybody is curious about.
Okay.
So, Scott, I know you didn't think you were going to get out of here without at least a question about Jonathan Kuminga. And
who's that?
and this whole thing that's going on.
I know the rules a little better than he does.
Exactly.
But just from a general standpoint, what did you see in that situation? You always say being prudent, things like that. Anything that you saw just from how this team can improve and just the direction you think you could go?
I'm just going to obviously have to talk in very generalities. I can't get into talking about individuals.
Right.
But I said that at the very beginning about being prudent and trying to figure out how to improve this team. That's each and every day. I'm happy with the group that we have coming here to start training camp. My job and the function of a general manager of any team has to be really evaluating who you have and what you have, and then making an honest assessment on where you need to improve. And so that's where I'm at with this whole process. And so the names of the players, whoever, that doesn't matter right now as much to me as okay, does the person and the skill set fit? Because I'm a big person. You guys will find this out about me. Obviously, you need talent in this league to win. There's no denying that.
Right.
But you need talent plus the character. I say this all the time to people when they start talking about, oh, you ought to trade for this player, that player. When you make a trade, when you sign a free agent, when you draft a player, two things are coming in the door: the player's talent and the personality. And they're not mutually exclusive. They're coming together. So you better be comfortable with both.
Right.
And so that is kind of the lens that I look through. I will continue to look through in terms of improving this roster in any of the avenues that we have available to us.
Now, you know what's got, it's funny you talked about looking through the lens, because I always say that it's a few different ways you watch basketball. When you're a fan, you watch the ball. When you're a coach, you watch the players. But when you're a GM, you have to look at basketball in a whole different eye because you got to figure out, even if you got a good team, you still got to figure out those little intricacies that's going to take you to the next level.
There's no question about it. It's a tremendous point that you make. And I'm watching off the ball. I'm watching sidelines. I'm watching all of that kind of stuff because, again, that lends itself when you're talking about building a unit. You got to build a team that can not only come together, but they can also fight off external forces too and be able to work through tough adversities. You know, I lean back on my time when my start in the league, all those years I worked with the Detroit Pistons, and learned a lot of lessons while I was there. Few things that I bring here. Really believe in building a deep team. I think you need teams that are deep now. You know, 1 through 10 if you can, because that helps you sustain injuries. That helps you win a lot of games. Your second unit being able to come off and outplay another team's second unit. The toughness factor and the competition factor. See, I look for a lot of the intangible things. If you notice those 6 things that I talked about in the very beginning, it said had nothing to do with who jumped the highest, who shot the best, who runs the fastest. These are all controllable things that each human being has.
Right.
They have, but it's either coming from up here in the head or the heart.
Man.
And so
Preach,
that's
preach, brother. Preach, brother.
So yeah, that's how we're working here.
Talking to GM Scott Perry. One more before we get you out of here. This is just one I've been curious about.
Okay.
Every Monday, you go about 4 or 5 a.m. at this point with the Monday motivations?
I get up and work out every morning at 5 a.m. Sometimes I post it before I work out, or some other times after.
And just to confirm, because we have been asked, you are writing those.
Yes, I'm writing.
That's
Look, I read a lot, of course, but all of those, I'm not just copying and pasting those.
Right.
I may tweak some things that I see, some
Right.
messages that I see along, but I've been a big motivational person all my life.
And I've been catching them too, man.
You've been catching them too?
Yeah. I'm watching from afar.
And what I do with those, not only, I'm sharing those with the broad public, but I share those obviously internally too.
Yeah.
Because again, when you're talking about building the staff out, man, I'm trying to do everything I can to make everybody feel like they got a piece of this thing, because they do.
Yeah.
And so that's real important.
Because, bro, I mean, the word has to be buy-in.
Absolutely.
Buy-in.
Yep.
Everybody has to buy in.
Absolutely. There's no question about it.
Yeah, because I've been seeing them, and I'll get on my
Are you
TikTok.
are you liking them though?
I do.
You do. Okay.
No, because I get into TikTok black holes where I'm seeing all these different videos. It could be Kevin Hart, whoever, right? Just having these motivational quotes. So I'm big on it.
Well, I started it doing them internally a couple stops ago where I was working at. But what I started thinking, I said, maybe and I'm not a big social media guy per se, but look, we live in a world with so much negativity and stuff going on. I said, you know what? Part of our responsibility, let's get some positive energy out there from time to time, you know, because it's, to your point, you can get down these negative rabbit holes and you may never come out.
Right.
And see, it's so easy to jump to the negative side.
Yes.
But it's hard.
Right.
To keep it positive.
See, right. And so in the office, they'll tell you, they hear me say this a lot. We have a decision. Is the cup half empty or is the cup half full? I'm going to always choose half full. It's easy to complain about what you don't have.
Yeah.
No, what do we have?
Yeah.
And let's maximize what we have. And that's the task for not only me and the staff, but the team as well.
But that's the testament from where you come from.
You say that again.
Where you come from.
You know where I come from,
exactly.
right?
That's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
From where you come from, when you look at that cup,
yes,
you ain't never saying, it's on the other end. You got to say, okay, well, how we going to make this better?
There's no question about it. And that's the blessing, really, for me and us coming up in a place like Detroit, Michigan, too. It makes you, you appreciate everything. So you would, look, okay, this is what I have. Oh, I got to make the most of it.
Sure.
No excuses, no explanation. I can't make a whole bunch of excuses about what I don't have. first of all, who gonna listen? Who gonna really care?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody gonna care at the end of the day. So if I want to make something for myself, of myself, I gotta go get it.
Right.
And I gotta take whatever I got to go get it and make it happen.
Hey, we got a 20-pound bag of potatoes over there. Go get the grease and some ketchup. We got
Exactly.
Scott Perry, thank you so much for joining us. This was a lot of fun.
No, this was I enjoyed it. Let's do it again for sure.
Let's
For
do it
sure,
again.
Scott.
Scott
Okay.
Perry, we will be back